Hey Yins, how are you doing today? Hope you are all doing well. It is Sunday, August. I can't even remember the dates anymore. It's Sunday, August 29th, 2021. I am sitting here in my dining room again, and I'm actually filming 2 weeks in a row. And I'm all of a sudden itchy. I have itchy nose. But anyways, I actually have some progress to show you, and I'm feeling up to filming again. So I thought I'd pop on. I am sitting here in the dining room because if I don't film from my computer, it's not going to happen. So I figured I'd just sit down here at my desk and film a video for you guys and show you what I have to share. So real quick, right from the beginning, let's go ahead and knock out some of those updates that I want to share before we get into the progress that I have to show. So I want to thank you all who had commented and watched my previous video. So thank you all. If you're new to my channel, which I have some new viewers since the last few times that I've filmed, so welcome. I am Gerald, Ginger Gerald Stitcher, and you can find me here on YouTube, obviously, if you found me already, or as also over on Instagram as ginger.gerald.stitcher. You can also find my Etsy store, Ginger Gerald Designs, all one word, Ginger Gerald Designs. All of this information, of course, is in the information section below, and you can check all that information out below. I know in previous videos I have talked about some of the things that I've been destashing. All of the destash stuff is gone for right now. I have been considering going through my drawers again and seeing if there's anything else I want to purge. However, last week I did go ahead and update the store with those dishcloths that I had finished and said I was going to be selling. And one, I'm talking too fast and my brain is getting left behind by my mouth. One set of the autumn color dishcloths that I had finished has sold. However, I still have one set left. This is how they will come to you if you do purchase them. One set is still available in my Etsy store if you are interested in the dishcloths. I also, like I showed you last week, I also have the dishcloths, this blue and red set, available if you're interested in purchasing them. Like I said, I rarely use the dishcloths, and if I do, I use them as coasters for furniture protectors. They are great if you want to just have them as decorative coasters, or old-fashioned term, doilies, as my grandmother would have said. So they are great to do for that. And so I have them up available in my Etsy store for sale now. So you can go check out the Etsy store if you're interested in those. All right. Again, I want to thank all of you who made a donation to the Etsy store, not the Etsy store, my channel, through the Buy Me a Coffee. That link is also in the information section below. That is not necessary, but it is very nice and kind if you are interested in doing so. That being said, it is now time to take a coffee break. Today's coffee is via IKEA. Every time I go to IKEA, I typically buy a pound or whatever that cake of coffee that is there. I cracked my most recent one open this week. And that is what I'm drinking from this week. All right. So, everyone seems to be really enjoying my plant updates. I was actually just watching Emily from Eclectic Possessions, and I loved watching her plant update and her video as well. Emily, I also have a Alocasia Bambino, which is thriving like crazy, and It's sitting over on my shelf right now. I'm not showing that today though. However, alocasia are currently my favorite plants. I love alocasia. I just got a new alocasia that I'm super pumped about, but I need to get a new pot for it first. Not sure what I'm going to put it in. Anyways, that's a side note. But I have a couple plants here today that I wanted to showcase before we got into the stitching update. The first one is actually one that I'm growing from seed. So this year I thought that because the shops in my area do not seem to bring in a lot of, thanks to my brother Grant, he got me into succulents and cacti. I wasn't really ever into them, and then he's not into the houseplants so much as other than cacti and succulents. I wasn't into those. Now I kind of am, but I'm into the rare ones that you can't really find that much in this neck of the woods. So I was like, let me see if I can find some seeds that I can grow, because I don't want to buy full-grown ones that are really expensive, and I don't know how they're going to do. I've never really been very good at succulent and cacti in the past. So let me see if I can grow them from seed. It'll be a lot cheaper. If I lose them, big deal. It wasn't that expensive. So this year I bought a variety of different succulent and cacti seeds. This one is one that I'm really super excited about. I only had one come up. I bought 3 seeds. This is a Euphorbia obesa. A Euphorbia is not a cacti. It is actually a succulent. And as I was watering it, I put it into. I started all my the succulent and cacti seeds in a cookie sheet, and from there, then after they came up, I've transplanted them into these small terracotta pots by genus. And when I transplanted them, I only had one Euphorbia come up, and I was like, oh well, I only have one, or one Euphorbia obesa come up. All of a sudden, now I have 2. And actually I have 3. I have a third one over with my lithops. But here is a Euphorbia obesa. Technically 2. And that is where they are right now. So really excited about them. They kind of look like, when they're full grown, they look like a baseball. So that's what they look like currently. So this is a very, very young one. This one is, I started growing these back in June, early June. And that's what they look like right now. So my other plant update that I want to show you right now, this one I'm really excited about, because, most houseplants are typically green. Unless they bloom, there's not much color to them. This one is rarely green. It's pretty much my color profile all the time. This is a begonia called Autumn Embers Begonia. I bought this as a plug off of Etsy, and there it is. Oh, the color looks really good there. So this is an Autumn Embers Begonia. I know a lot of people don't do well with begonias. I don't seem to have a problem growing begonias. Begonias seem to do really well for me. I have a little bit of crispy tips on a couple of the leaves. So this is probably quadrupled in size since I got this. When I got this, there was about maybe double this size, with 4 leaves maybe. So, but that's what it looks like. So you can see there's a little bit of greenery like light yellow green, but the majority is going to be this reddish color, and there's light pinkish color, and there's yellow. But this is what it looks like all year round, and I love it. So it gives it definitely gives some color to my house and my garden, my plant stand, since a lot of the plants in my house are green. So this is called Autumn Embers Begonia, or at least that's what it was called whenever I bought it. Like, look at this one. It has some modeling and, you know, confetti colors on the leaves. Just love it. I have it in I bought this pot at HomeSense. So I think it goes really well together. So I am not a catch pot type guy. While this one does have drainage, I plant the pots right in. I don't pull them out. I water them in there. This one does suck the moisture out, and it does perfectly fine. So there we go. Autumn Embers Begonia. Let me pause this video for a second while I go put the plants away, and then we'll talk about some cross stitch. All right, so I haven't in the last week really done much knitting. I have started one new project. However, I'm not sure how that's going, so I'm not going to talk about it today on this video. So let's get into some cross stitch. I've kind of been all over the place with cross stitch. So last week I worked on a few things, and I said I was going to pull some other things out to work on. So the first thing I pulled out to work on was and I'm not prepared, so we're just going to have to bear with me as I pull it out here. And we're going to have some crinkling. And like I said in the video last week, it was my Long Dog Samplers, Le Jardin de Plaisir. This is a project that I got as a gift for my birthday / Smalls exchange a few years ago from Bubmy. Bubmy is on YouTube, on FlossTube. A friend that I met also at, she's also a friend who I met at the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat. So this is a project I picked out from 123 Stitch. This is my very first Long Dog sampler piece, and I basically changed everything about it. I didn't change the design, I just changed the colors, changed the fabric, and so, as one often does, with Long Dog samplers. So I am stitching this on a piece of color and cotton fabric, and I don't know what the name of the fabric is called, but I think it is actually, I don't think I have, do I have the tag anymore? It's a 36 count, and I don't have the tag anymore. Unfortunately, I don't have the tag anymore. I don't remember what it's called. But it's a 36 piece count of fabric from Color and Cotton. And I am using DMC 3777, 3866, and 3857. And I have completed the first page. And that is my progress. There we go. So let me fold this up a little bit. But no, you know what? Let's do it like, there we go. So there is my progress. So Le Jardin de Plaisir. That is first page done. Also like spreading into page 2 and page 4 down here. But there we go. I think the color's better over there. But yeah. And I think it's looking great. I love the colors. When you're up close and with the light on it a lot, the brown and the red are subtle. But here, you can definitely see there we go. You can definitely see the contrast, and I think it looks great. It's going to look great in my home, which is neutrals. And yeah. So there we go. So I really enjoyed working on this. This is a 36 count piece of fabric. I am stitching 1/2 on the 36 count. And here the coverage looks really, really good. Up in person, it is a little sparse, but I'm fine with that because on this fabric and with this design, I don't think you need, it gives it a little bit more of a rustic look. And I think that's fine. So that is almost halfway across, and that's over halfway down. So that's pretty much the top, the left corner of the piece. So just under 1/4 of the project is done. So there we go. So that is one of the pieces that I worked on. It won't be long before I pull this back out again because, yeah, we'll talk about plans here in a little bit. So Long Dog samplers. I have this in one of my Mama Joan bags that I have. My stags. There we go. And bear with me as I put everything away. I have it in an Evertote. I have my flosses in an Evertote Notions tote. Okie dokie. Project number 2 that I worked on is in my long Evertote bag. And this is La Foresta de Fons by Renato Perelin. And that's what it will look like once it's done. I am stitching this on a 56 count XU Designs fabric called Mandarin, using I'll fix that in a minute. Maybe 938 DMC 938 deep brown. Let me get that before I forget. My zipper pull fell off. Fix that later. All right. So I'm using 938 DMC for Renato Perelin La Foresta de Fons on a 56 count linen XU Designs fabric called Mandarin. And that is actually, like, right there is a really good representation of the color, and there is what I've gotten done. So I'm basically, how I'm stitching right now is I'm doing small goals. So my goal for this project was that I wanted to get this tree done. There's an error. This tree is one stitch too far that way, but that's okay. As long as it's that way and not this way, there's not an issue. Technically, it should be one stitch closer to this tree because I made an error down here, and it should be, this little bush right here should be one stitch closer to that little shrub, but you know, oh well. So there is the project so far. I am now 1/4 of this project is also done. So there are a total of 20 trees in this project. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees are done. So I have 1/4 of this project is done. But this is a time-consuming project. So I went from 36 count to 56 count. Kind of messes with your eyes a little bit. So I worked on this for 2 days to get this tree done. But I'm really enjoying this piece. No hurry to get this one done, but it was nice to work on. So this is, I thought that was a fungus gnat, but it was a piece of fuzz. This is, again, 56 count with DMC 938. 938. So a lot of people ask me, can you stitch with, so I use 1 strand over 2. Yes, you can use DMC on 56 count. Because I know a lot of people buy the special Tudor silks for 56 count. I use regular DMC for the 56 count, and I use a 28 gauge needle. There we go. All right. Put this one away. And finally, I worked on one more project this week. And so I went from 56 count to 14 count. And I decided to pull out the Riolus red panda. I would love to get this done soon. However, I don't think that's it's not gonna be quick in the project or in the time scale here. There's some other things I'd like to get done quicker or in first. So this is stitched with the wool acrylic flosses that come with the kit. I get a lot of questions as far as how do you stitch with these flosses. Use short strands. It is stitched with 2 strands on the 14 count. So what if I do use the loop method if it is using one color. These patterns also use a lot of blends, especially with this red panda. There are a lot of blends in this red panda. So then you just have to use one strand of each of the colors that is called for. And then you just what I do is either the Bargello tuck, or I will stitch over top of the end until it's secured on the back. So these are the colors that are in it. There are a lot of gray, and that's what I'm trying to knock out a lot of the color right now. So it doesn't seem like I'm doing a lot right now, but I am trying to get a lot of these grays done. Here is my progress so far. So I filled in all of this here. I filled in this paw here. A lot of this is all done. I also filled in some more of the green leaves here. And so I worked on this for about last night, and I only worked on this for maybe 2 hours last night and then a few hours today. But I think I'm going to put it away for now because I did work on a good bit of this today. I filled in a nice portion of this today, and I'm kind of tired of it. But this is going to be a little bit of a focus, but just here and there until I get some more progress. However, I am getting an itch to start putting in some of the color up on the top of the panda, even though I really want to get this dark stuff done. The leaves are not going to be fun either. Every single color green is a blend. But he's going to look great whenever he's done. And so all of these Riolus animal kits that I have are going to be hung in my office at work on my animal wall. That is the wall that is behind my chair in my office is where I've been hanging all of the animal kits. So I have my snowy owl. Right now I have my snowy owl and the hedgehogs with lichen berries. So this is going to be the third installment on that wall there. After this is going to be I want to say prairie dogs, but I don't think they're prairie dogs. Meerkats, the meerkats. So I want to get this done so I can start the meerkats. But I only ever want to have one of these on the go at a time. So that is Red Panda. Really enjoying that. So that is my progress for the week. And I have this in the lovely map project bag that was gifted to me. Love this bag. It fits my 11 by 11 Q-snap perfectly, and it's my colors. So there we go. Anyways, I hope you all have a great week. Enjoy the crafting that you have planned for. Oh, let's talk plans. I don't know what I'm going to work on. I think I want the plan. My goal for the remaining few months of this year, September, because this week begins September, so we have September, October, November, December, 4 months. My goals for the rest of this year is to really just try to touch as many of the projects that I haven't really focused on, as well as make a cognitive effort to get some finishes on these projects that I have that I know I can get finished. So long dog samplers, I think I could get a finish on if I focus on that, as well as my By the Bay project of my father's house has many rooms. I know I just started that, but there's not a whole lot of work left on that I think I can get that one done. Those are the two that I think I really want to get done before the end of the year. Other than that, I really just want to work on the pieces that I haven't really touched on, as well as maybe eke out as much work on Red Panda as possible. Other than that, I'm just going to work on small pieces. I'm going to set, whenever I touch something, I'm going to set a small goal and then move on to the next piece. I'm kind of enjoying that right now, so I'm going to continue doing that until I don't like doing that anymore. And then we'll go from there. Until then, until I film again, I hope you are enjoying the crafting that you have going for you. Crafting can be anything from gardening to cooking. So I hope you enjoy what you set in front of you, and you get lots of pleasure out of that, and enjoy the weather as we start to hopefully cool down here in the northern hemisphere. I'm looking forward to being able to opening the windows and turning off the air conditioning. I thought I was going to be able to do that today, but apparently not, because it's 70 degrees, but it feels like 83 because of the humidity here today. So with that, enjoy your crafting, enjoy your stitching, and until I see you again, as always, don't forget to always be creative.